Yeah. So what's the good word, everybody? Y'all know who it is. It's your boy Lamar Jamal chilling with you on a Saturday. Off the grip, I need to apologize because I did not record last Saturday because your boy has been a little bit under the weather. Yes, you heard me. Battling a head cold and just didn't want to get on here fumbling and coughing and sneezing and a change of season, allergy season, and what have you going into spring, though I have yet seen any consistency with the nice weather, but I do believe it's coming and knocking at the door. So as always, I start these podcasts off, Four Corners podcast, asking God's help. We need Him. I need Him. You need Him. I need a boost, some natural energy, some spiritual energy. And so I want to come to you today as upbeat as I can. And so I started these podcasts weeks ago wanting to share some real content. And as I told you, others get paid a lot of money to talk. I endeavor, want to speak. I want to speak into your life, into your situation, your circumstances, your relationships, your family, finances, you name it. It is here. A lot of life experience inside of me that I just want to share with people. I want your life to be better because I'm in it, and I want mine to be better because you are in mine. And so, Four Corners, we have been talking about relationships that matter. I want to pick up off where I left last on Daddy's Girl. I talked to you about some deep content with Daddy's Girl. Excuse me, in particular, talking to you fathers about the relationships that are there to be had with your daughters, your biological daughters, your stepdaughters, what have you. And even just younger ladies that you can, relate to them as daughter figures. I have some things right here that I want to share. I went to Miami probably, I think maybe 2 months ago, and I had the awesome privilege of spending some one-on-one father-daughter time with, look at that beautiful girl. Take a close one right there. That is my daughter, Sarah Ashley Callahan, my firstborn, who I could not be more proud of. I, by the grace of God, along with her mother, have made such an investment into both of our children's lives. My son Joshua, which we're going to talk about, that mama's boy relationship and that type of thing. But we've made such an investment into our children's lives. Could not be more proud of them. Look at this. This is her graduating college. You heard me. Excuse me. Graduating college from Johnson in Wales and has herself a degree in criminal justice. She is a canine handler, has her German Shepherd Growl along with her other two four-legged babies, living out on her own, doing the daggone thing. Fathers, this is what you have to look forward to with your children, with your daughters, the investment, the impact that you can make in their life, the example that is there for you to set, the mistakes that are there for you to make in front of them. They need to see you make mistakes. They need to see every now and then you didn't make the right decision. Pick yourself back up, redirect yourself, own it first and foremost, and let them know that this is a part of life. See, in its fetal stages, the baby stages, everything, they look up to you, they look at you, ooh, that's my dad, he can do no wrong. But what happens now when they begin to see, as I said, that their Superman has holes in his cape? This is absolutely healthy. It's appropriate. It brings along balance, boundaries, because they're going to make mistakes. They're going to do things in their lives where they blow it. There are going to be opportunities that are before them that they don't take, that they're going to turn around and look back and wish that they did. They, probably like you, getting involved in the dating game, which is a whole nother topic, because we want to shelter our children and our daughters in particular, because their emotional makeup is so different than a young man and can easily be hurt and that type of thing. We want to give them that room and that freedom for them to understand this is a really, really, really big, big, big world out here. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to accomplish. There's a lot of people to meet, etc. But along the way, as I mentioned before, hurting people hurt people. And so our daughters getting hurt, our daughters getting their feelings hurt, their emotions hurt, and different things like that. It's all a part of this process, all a part of, how we help to shape and to mold them into the young ladies that they're going to be in this world one day. I want my children to leave a legacy. I want my children to learn from their parents, learn from our mistakes, learn from our poor choices, because everything is not a mistake, but learn from our mistakes, learn from our poor choices, and learn from our successes. Learn from the way they see us handle people and interact with people. Learn from the way they see us interact with each other. And most of all, learn from the way that they see us relate with God, because he is real and we need them. And so, Daddy's Girl, I talked to you about all of the good things. I talked to you about, us fathers taking our daughters out on dates while they're young so that they can know what to expect from a man who needs to be a gentleman in their life and needs to open the door for them and offer to, to pay the bill and to take them out and different things like that, and can talk to them with the utmost, love and respect, not just because he wants something or because he wants something sexual, but because he wants to be in her life and he wants to be that man in her life, and even friendships, because this is not just about romance. Daughters are going to have male friends and different things like that, showing them the balance and the boundaries of how close to get, how not close to get. There's so much stuff that, I taught my daughter, but then there's a lot of things that, I wish I had taught her, that now, seeing some of the things that she's going through, though it's never too late, but understanding now that she's being 28, almost 29, she's not 15 anymore. There's not, she's not going to the prom anymore. She's not going to the junior prom or different things like that anymore. She has real people, real men trying to vie for her attention and say different things to her. And I don't want them talking away or unraveling what she's been taught and how she's been raised, to be a God-fearing young lady who respects herself with honor and dignity and character and integrity. And those things, fathers, we have such an opportunity each and every day to plant those seeds of thought in their lives, to plant those seeds of encouragement. As I told you, telling them they're beautiful. That doesn't change now because she's living out on her own and she has her own career and she might be married or have a serious boyfriend or fiance or whatever situation she may find herself in. You now have an opportunity, fast forward, saying, okay, there are areas in my daughter's life before that I miss. There are conversations, there's different things that I miss because I didn't know how to have those conversations with her. But now that she's an adult or a young adult or maybe even a teenager, depending on where they are, you have what you call age appropriate conversation. Now, I'm grateful that my daughter being an adult, we can sit and talk about any and everything. And I mean any and everything: relationships, dating, sex, money, God, that we can talk about anything. And I talk to her as an adult and I'm transparent with her and I let her know, listen, this is what dad did. Dad did good. This is what dad did, and dad did bad. Okay. It can't be all just the good stuff. It can't be all just, oh, well, I never did this, or I never went there, or I never, associated with this one or that one. No, you have an opportunity to let them know, I failed miserably in this area, and this is still an area that I have to be guarded. This is still an area that I have to pay very close attention to. I still have to deal with, situations on the road rage, or this, that, and the other, where I want to come out of my mouth and address somebody or whatever. I still have to watch the way I interact with people who I know, want to get next to me for the wrong reasons. I still have to pay attention how I handle my finances. Am I trying to buy friends or buy my way into this or this, that, and the other? Am I trying to fit in to a certain scope or certain mold? All of these things have to do with the relationship component that we build with our daughters, fathers, men, us, caring adults, whatever relationships you have with your daughters, whatever age that they are. Daddy's girl, there's a gleam in your daughter's eye toward her father, toward that male figure in her life, where they are constantly, whether they say anything or not, they are constantly looking for your approval. They just want to hear you say, yo, you go, girl, you knocked it out the box. I don't care if they were, at a singing competition, if it was the first meal that she made for you and you and her on the one-on-one, or if it's the first time she invited you over to meet her boyfriend or significant other, and you guys, all had dinner and stuff together. Look for those opportunities, fathers and men, to capitalize on. Look for those opportunities, okay, to tell her, I couldn't be more proud of you. Look for those opportunities to boost her up and tell her, I am so excited to see the woman that you are becoming and that you are maturing, that you graduated high school, you graduated college, or you went on to grad school, or even if she wanted to be a young mother. There's every opportunity possible for you to be that positive influence in her life. Daddy's girl. And so I talked to you, like I said last time, about a lot of the good things, the dating and the this, and telling her how beautiful she was, and being at every event, and that type of thing. But then I left you with something. I told you, I said that, well, unfortunately, her mom and I did make it. And Daddy's girl, with that strong bond that we had, now said, wow, my parents are no longer together. My father no longer lives under the same roof, or my mother no longer lives under the same roof, or now I'm splitting the home with them. I'm going with my dad part-time. I'm going with my mom part-time, or, whatever the dynamics are. But as far as how our dynamics were, the way we set things up, I told you the things that we didn't do. We didn't badmouth, okay, each other to the children. Like I said, once you let those things out there, they're out there. You can't turn around and say, oh, I didn't mean this, I didn't mean that. No, of course you did. You said things out of anger. You wanted your daughter to understand the pain that you were feeling, and so you wanted to tell your side of the story. And as I told you, wrong. It is the wrong thing to do. You have to find another outlet. You have to find a counselor or someone like that to sit and talk to. I told you some of the things that you can do as far as doing the best that you can, if possible, to get along with, your children's mother, and you guys, if possible, sit in the stands together at an event or attend the same functions. What was that word I told you? I'm going to give you 2 seconds. 1, 2. Maturity. There's a level of maturity that it takes for these type of things to happen. There's a level of maturity now when you, as a father, now have a new lady in your life. Or what if you remarry? There's a new level of maturity that comes now if your ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or whatever now has a new man in her life. How do you guys get along around your daughter? Do you come with an open mind and an open heart and saying that we're going to make this work? We're going to be respectful of each other. Do you say to yourself for a certain amount of time, I'm not going to bring somebody new around my daughter for some time to allow the wounds to heal and to allow the air to clear? I'm letting you guys in on a secret. That's something that is good. That's good counsel and good advice, because I did the wrong thing where I brought people, young ladies in particular, around my children too early. And let me tell you why that might not be the best situation. Excuse me, because when your children, and in particular fathers, your daughter, there's a jealousy that comes where you bring another woman around and your daughter now has to split her time with this other young lady, and she doesn't know how to do that. She's used to a natural flow and a natural gel with you and her mom, who may have been your girlfriend or your wife. She's used to that. That's the way things go in the home. Now, what happens when that relationship is split, or if it's severed, or if it's changed. She now has to figure out, how can I have my father's time and attention and that type of thing. So you need to leave time, and I can't tell you what your time is. Some people take a year, some people take 2, some people take 3. Whatever it is for you, you have to figure out what is time, what type of time is available to you guys, for you guys to have that relationship on the one-to-one. And then when is it time for you to bring someone else around your daughter? Because as I said, she has to split that time, and that's not easy for her, and it's probably not going to be easy for you as well. And it's certainly not going to be easy for the outside person coming in, who, if she was smart, she would want to ease her way in. She's to want to get to know your daughter, and get to know your daughter for herself, not just because she's now your new boo or that type of thing. No, she needs to get to know your daughter for herself. I was in a relationship with someone, and obviously I won't mention names and that type of thing, but they made it seem like they wanted to get to know my daughter, but it really wasn't. It was just to get close to me and to know what was going on with me all the time when they weren't around. I was in another situation where, I introduced a young lady to my children early, and in particular, her and my daughter, they butted heads because my daughter wanted to be up under me. And believe it or not, this grown woman was actually jealous, saying, geez, I can never get any of your time with you by myself. And I'm thinking, again, there's that word. I'm looking for her to be the mature one because we're dealing with a child at the time. But now that my daughter is older, she's an adult. Okay, she has thoughts and opinions and ideas and different things that she might want to do and different things that she might want to talk about. What's the balance of how much my daughter and I might have conversation about what was when I was with her mother or whatever in front of the new person now? How much of that is respectful? How much of that is appropriate? You might have someone, again, that is not mature and can't handle the fact that, oh, wow, all you guys are doing is talking about what was, this family picnics, this family outing. You went on vacation here, you went on vacation there. So again, none of these things are easy, guys, but these are all situations that, fathers, you're going to deal with your daughter. I guarantee you're in a situation now where you're wondering, how are those pieces and things going to come together? You're in a situation now where maybe your new significant other is saying to you, listen, I can't deal with this. Your daughter doesn't like me, blah, blah, blah. Or your daughter is now questioning you. Why would you choose her over my mom? None of these things are easy, guys. These are situations that I went through, situations I wrote about. This is my book, Unscripted Transparency, the Lamar Callahan story. Listen to me and hear me clearly. Your boy made some god-awful choices, and in particular in the areas of relationships. I wrote about it all in this book. I talk about it all in the book. Marriage, divorce, children, parenting, any type of relationships you've had, church, God, all of it, because these things get so messy where we think it's just so easy for someone because they put a smile on their face or they're pleasant. Listen, on the inside, they may be crumbling. On the inside, they may be burning with anger. They may be confused, lost, or flat out just want to throw in a towel and say, skip it. I'm done with it all. What I'm trying to do with you guys is exactly what I did in this book. I documented things in this book that the people that I had relationships with, that had relationships with me, have relationships with my family, with my children, my son, my daughter. I had to make amends with a lot of these people because all of these things that I'm sitting here talking to you about, I didn't know how to do these things. And thus I hurt a lot of people. There were things that I endeavored to do. There were things in my heart that I wanted to do. There were relationships that I wanted to be a certain way, but I didn't know how to go about it. And I sought the advice of counselors and pastors and family and the whole 9 yards But at the end of the day, I had to make the decisions that I thought would be best for my family. I had to make the decisions that I thought would be best for my daughter. I had to make the decisions that I thought would be best for our relationship. I had to make the decisions that I thought this will last. This temporary, getting a need met right away, boom, boom, boom. I said, no, my daughter, who's a young lady, who's going to be a lady one day, is going to turn back and look and say, you know what? I understand what my father went through when he and my mom divorced and I was a little girl. I understand what my father went through when he went through, this divorce. I understand what my father went through when he lost this job and he was trying to figure out how he was going to maintain this house. I understand what my father went through when he lost a home that he purchased. See, there's a lot of good things that I told y'all, but there was a lot of bad things that happened when, you know what I mean, I made an investment into my second home and couldn't keep it up right then because my business was struggling at the time. And I had that house auctioned off right in front of my face. Mind you, not only was I divorced from my kid's mother, I had moved on in a new relationship and she had children. And so I had to turn around and tell the woman that I was in a relationship with at that point, my children and her children, we have to move. And move where? I don't know. It's by the grace of God, he opened up a door for us, to get a townhouse and, next town over and all that. But those things are painful. Those things we can avoid if we take the time to plan some things out, talk about some things. Man, humble yourself, get down on your knees and pray and ask God for help and be open and say, I don't even know how to do this. I don't know which direction to go, etc. He'll help you. I promise you. Ask another friend, ask a mentor, ask somebody in your life who's close to you that will tell you the truth and love. This is maybe what you can do to help. But these relationships right here, at the end of the day, and I'm going to say it like this, family is all you got. Family is all you got. Family is all you have. If you take the time to develop the relationships with your children, with your daughter, and you take the time to say, life doesn't end here because the relationship dynamics have changed. Life doesn't end here because we were once one big happy family living all under the same roof, but that has changed. As I said to you in the last video on Daddy's Girl Part 1, what is the next best plan B? I'm going to tell you this. Part of it is certainly being open, being truthful, being accountable, being teachable, walking in love, telling your kids the truth that dad didn't do this right or dad didn't do that right, humbling yourself when you want to get into, arguing and shouting matches after the fact with your now ex-wife, now ex-girlfriend, and you two have to co-parent. Those just that stuff makes things more messy. That stuff makes things more intense. It makes everybody have to walk around in eggshells. It makes your children feel like they have to choose, which is unfair. Again, if there's situations where it is not best that one of the parents be in the children's lives any longer for, reasons, legal reasons, abuse, etc., then we understand that. We handle those things accordingly, okay? But the children need their parents. Daughters need their fathers. Daughters need their mothers. Sons need their fathers. Sons need their mothers. We're talking about Daddy's Girl, fast forwarding now to age-appropriate content, age-appropriate relationships. Men, you can still go out on dates with your daughters now that they're in their 20s and they have their own relationships, and you can now ask them, well, how does he treat you? Excuse me. What if they have children? How does he treat the children? What type of father is he? You can take that opportunity to not come with guns blazing because there is a man or men that are interested in your daughter. That is the way things go in life. Hello, newsflash. You can now take the opportunity to get to know him on the one-to-one. Take him out, talk with him. Don't threaten him, okay? Ask him, gain his respect. You can use words like, man, I would certainly appreciate if you would love my daughter and respect her. She's a good girl. I raised her with morals and values, and I want her to keep those. And I'm hoping that you guys together can build a healthy life and live a healthy lifestyle and take care of your children together. Do you see how much love there is in those words? Okay, versus you saying, you know what, my man, don't let me get that phone call that you put your hands on my daughter, or else it's going to be me and you. Okay, you done already messed up everything, okay, just with that type of thing. And now you put that wedge between you, between your daughter, daddy's girl, between her significant other, who one day might be her spouse, and you don't want the situation to turn around and come down, excuse me, where she says, well, Dad, I'm going to marry him with or without you, one way or the other. See, I talked to you about the importance of keeping the lines of communication open that I am so grateful that I have with my daughter, so that now she doesn't need my approval, okay, but she seeks it. She asks for my opinion, okay, and she values that. She asks me, so Dad, what do you think? And she values that. She comes and talks to me at times and asks me, you know, Dad, I'm in a situation. What should I do? I don't exactly know what to do or which direction to go. All of these things have to do with what we talked about, four corners, what you learn inside the home, the music you listen to, what you watch on TV, and who you surround yourself with, who you hang around. All of these things are talking about relationships that matter. In particular, I'm talking up to you about the father-daughter relationship. Don't miss the next podcast where we are going to talk about Mama's Boy. And I don't know how long we're going to stay on it. I have a lot of things in my heart, a lot of things in my mind, a lot of things going on. I'm really hoping that you will have a prosperous 2025 in the area in particular of relationships. I don't want you just to think that you're prospering just because you have money. I don't want you just to think that you're prospering because you might be in wonderful shape. What type of relationships do you have with your family? Fathers, what type of relationships do you have with your daughters? Okay. Mothers, what type of relationships do you have with your sons? And fathers and mothers, what type of relationships do you have with each other after the fact that you have split and you've gone separate ways, but you have this thing in common, parenting? You have children in common. Take an honest look at that. If there are things that are messy right now, I'm encouraging you to seek some help and to get some counsel and maybe see a family, psychologist or that type of thing. It doesn't matter whether you're not married or anything anymore. You're still a family. That family dynamic is always going to be there, and you're going to be in each other's lives for the rest of your life for the sake of your children, let alone you got grandchildren coming or already here. Listen, this is Lamar Jamal talking to you about some real stuff on the Four Corners podcast, relationships that matter. Daddy's girl, fathers, you owe it to your daughters, you owe it to your family to be there as best as you can. I know you have your own things that you're working on. You're trying to make ends meet. Okay, you're trying to do the best that you can to be the best example that you can while you make mistakes. You might have a new family. Don't forget about your original family. That hurts more than anything. Okay, nothing is going to replace the children that you made at one time when you were in love or lust or whatever your situation was. You made those children, okay? And now it is up to you to keep those relationships going and to spend that time and to build and to cultivate, okay, relationships that matter. And that is that father to daughter relationship, daddy's girl. Let me tell you this, fathers, I don't want you to think just because your daughter doesn't talk much about what was, okay, that she doesn't think about it and that she doesn't hope for what is. She wants a relationship with you right now, whether she knows how to say it, whether she's mad at you or upset. You might need to just let her vent and get some things off of her chest and talk about some things that she never got a chance to say to you, okay? And it will free you guys and allow you to go forward. Again, you guys caught the book, Unscripted Transparency, the Lamar Callahan story. I got some music out there on reverbnation.com/Lamar Callahan. My first CD, Rated Righteous. My second CD, All Terrain. My third CD, Side View. And my next CD and book is coming up. My new book will be called Four Corners, Intentional Exposure. It's in its editing stages right now. And my next EP will be called the 411 EP. I'll have some dope artists featured on there. I hope you guys got something from this podcast. Send me your feedback. Send me some love. LaMarsVoices@gmail.com. Your boy's out. Peace and love.